Hi, welcome to this lesson. This lesson is dedicated to finding questions which require you to find the value of x in a given mathematical expression like the ones you are seeing on the screen. And this is how we shall progress. We shall first start with addition problems, then we'll move on to subtraction problems. Then in the second part of this presentation, we shall look at word problems, those which involve sentences. Now let us first start with 5 plus x. Okay, so we are starting with addition. So if you are given a question 5 plus x equals 10, so here you are required to find the value of x. So what they are asking for here is what number should be added to 5 for it to give you 10. That is what it means. 5 plus x equals 10. So we want to know what number is being represented by this variable x. Now this is what you do. I'll teach you some few tricks, okay, which will make it easier for you to find solutions to such mathematical problems. So this is what you do. You write x equals 10. Now this number 5, which is here, you will move it to the other side, this side here. So what you will have now is x equals 10. So this side we are going to have 5, but we won't write 5 the way it is here. Whenever a number crosses over to the other side, its sign changes. From positive it will become minus because it has moved over the other side. So now what we shall have is x equals 10 minus 5. Okay, so this 5 now has a minus sign because it has moved over to the other side. Okay, so here I need to find the value of 10 minus 5. So if you calculate 10 minus 5 is 5. So what this means is x equals 5. Alright, now these three dots here in mathematics, they mean therefore. So here what we are saying is therefore x equals 5, and you can prove this. 5 plus, if this x is 5, it will be 5 plus 5 equals 10. So we can prove that, and that is correct. Okay, let us move on to the example B under addition. 6 plus x equals 8. So I'll write x equals 8. I'll take this 6 to come the other side, and so the 6 now will have a minus sign. So x equals 8 minus 6, and 8 minus 6 is 2. Therefore x equals 2. And well, you can prove this. 6 plus, if x is 2, it will be 6 plus 2 equals 8, because 6 plus 2 is 6, 7, 8. So this is correct. Let's move on to example C under addition. 310 plus x equals 500. So to find the value of x, we shall write x equals 500. Okay, this is equals, let me write it properly. Yeah, x equals 500. So this 300 here, it will move to the other side, and so it will have minus. It will become negative. So 500 minus 310. Okay, so to do it quickly, to find the answer, somewhere on a rough paper or on the side of a paper, you can find the answer to that. You can do that subtraction. So because these are bigger numbers, they may not be easy to calculate the way we were dealing with single digit numbers. So 0 minus 0 is 0. 0 minus 1, 0 is smaller, so we need to borrow a 1 from this next number 5. So this will become 10, and this one will become 4. So 10 minus 1 is 9. 4 minus 3 is 1. So the answer is 190. So that means x is 190. Okay. So let us move on now to subtraction. So we have 5 minus x equals 2. Now listen carefully. This trick may help you to quickly solve these problems without having challenges. Now for addition, it is the number we were moving the other side. Now when it is subtraction and when it is x which has the minus sign, okay, now sometimes they may not put x here, it could be y, a, l, whatever they can put, as long as it is the value you want to find and it is the one having the minus sign. What we shall do is x is the one we shall move the other side, and the number which is this side we shall move it over to the other side. So this is what will happen. 5 will remain where it is. Let us first start by moving this 2. This 2 here is positive, but because it is crossing over going this side, it will become negative. So it will be 5 minus 2. And then the x also crosses over this sign, the equal sign, and so here the x is negative, this side it will be positive. So what we actually have now is 5 minus 2 equals x. So the value of x is taking 2 away from 5, and what is that going to give us? 5 minus 2 is 3. So we can write those 3 dots which are in form of a triangle and say, therefore x equals 3. And you can prove that. Let us go back to this one here. 5 minus x, our x now is 3, so 5 minus 3, indeed it will give you 2. Let's look at the other example. 6 minus x equals 2. So again here it is the x having the minus sign, so this x has to move this side to the right side, and the 2 has to move to the left side, so that one side will only have x only. So we are going to have 6. These 2 shall move this side, so it will be 6. Now since this 2 here is positive, now because it is crossing over the equal sign, it will become negative, so it will be 6 minus 2 equals, we are taking this x over to the right side, and so it will become positive x. So what this means is 6 minus 2 is 4, and this 4 is actually the value of x. Therefore x equals 4. Alright, let's do the last example under subtraction. So what we have is 300 minus x equals 200. Okay, so excuse the mistake here, we forgot to put equals 200. Okay, so we shall write 300 we shall bring 200 over this side, and here it is positive. When it crosses the equal sign, it will become minus 200 equals, the x is negative here. When it goes over the equal sign, it will become positive. Now, what is 300 minus 200? So on a rough paper or somewhere in the corner of the paper you are using, you can do the subtraction. 0 minus 0 is 0, 0 minus 0 is 0, 3 minus 2 is 1. So this means 300 minus 200 is 100. So 100 equals x. Therefore, x equals 100. Okay. Now let us look at a word problem. A word problem is basically what we are doing right now, but it is expressed in form of a sentence. So let's look at an example of that. So here we have a question. Jen had 200. Let me write the 200 here. She bought a book and remained with 150 kwacha. How much did she buy the book? Alright, so let me start again. Jen had 200. I've written the 200 here. She bought a book. So she had this 200. When she buys a book, a certain amount of money will be removed from this 200 to buy that book. So we don't know how much money that is. So we're going to put X. So Jen had 200 kwacha. Then she removed some money to buy a book. We have not been told how much money that is. But we are told that after removing this money X, she remained with 150 kwacha. So the question is, how much did she buy the book? So we want to know how much is X. So again, what you do is, you do 200. You bring the 150, which is this side. It crosses over the equal sign, and when it comes the other side, it will become minus 150. Then this X here is negative. If it goes over the equal sign, it will become positive X, or simply X. So the next thing you do is 200 minus 150. So I'll write it over here on a rough paper somewhere. 200 minus 150. Okay, so you do your subtraction. 0 minus 0 is 0. 0 minus 5, we need to borrow a 1 from 2 so that this becomes 10. 10 minus 5 is 5. Then 1 minus 1 is 0. So what we have is 50. So 50 equals X, or X is 50.